Alrighty, I am back, and we're just going to go ahead and take this guy apart, which is really, really easy to do. So we got T8 hardware there. There's that. Here's the the standard. That was an interesting sound. The standard pivot collar thing that TwoSun has been putting on a decent amount of models, and for me, a lot of times just trying to push the pivot out. Seems to work a lot of times, but not always. In this particular case, it looks like it's not going to. So I will take a little bit of pry tool just to get the carbon fiber off here. Yeah, it's just their standard twill, but of course it's contoured, so it's not going to look exactly the same there. But yeah, from there I can kind of push on the pivot. That moves this out, and there we go. We can slide the blade out here. We can see we have this stop pin that goes through the titanium. So we do have a little bit more rigidity than just carbon fiber for that. But still, it's fairly thin right behind the lock bar there. So, this thing isn't an absolute crazy tank, but it's super nice. So there's that. We do have the steel lock bar there, and of course mounted from the outside because it's an integral. So there's that. I'll knock that pin out just so I don't accidentally lose track of it elsewhere. And oops, I forgot. We do have T8 hardware even for the inlays here, which if I remember right, this one's not nearly as easy to yeah. This one's a little bit more difficult to get out. So I will go ahead and pull out the one on the pocket clip side. Yes, this does have a pocket clip going directly into my micarta. I did address that in my first impressions, but this micarta that they're using, the canvas stuff, is quite a bit stronger than their burlap stuff, and this is also a very a very asymmetrical shape here. So it's not really going to develop much in the way of problems. I would still appreciate to see, another pin or something like that besides just the screw there. But yeah, it is what it is. But there we are on the inside, and yeah, we can see this thing is fairly deep in there, and that does keep the weight down on this thing considerably. So yeah, that's about everything that is probably important to cover with it. So let's slap it all back together. Also, if you're watching this but hadn't seen the initial video, the reason I got some funky nails, it's day before Halloween, or not Halloween, Thanksgiving. That's why I got brown and orange going on here. Not exactly my my normal go-to colors, but I do like to celebrate some holidays. I'll do red, white, and blue for 4th of July, and red and green for Christmas, and all that sort of good stuff. But all right, let's go ahead and slap this thing back together, which is fairly easy to do. We don't have a detent ramp on this guy in particular here. You can see it just kind of exits there, but this is a very early detent ramp overall. Yes, I am using skiff bearings in here. It didn't come with them, but these things work fantastically with it, and I figured this thing was special enough that I was going to justify it. Fairly easy to put this thing all back together. We had that had the bearing on there. That has the pivot on the other side. So you got that. I'm going to use the other bearing here. I already have KPL ultralight and heavy for the detent in there, so I don't really feel the need to replace that. Well, we can easily just go ahead and slap the carbon fiber thingy back on here. It feels basically in place, but a lot of times if you're putting something back together, always try to get some lock bar relief. A lot of times that'll snap things back into place, especially when you're talking about Axis or crossbar style locks. But yeah, absolutely no play whatsoever. Super nice and fantastic action going on here. So yeah, like I was saying in the other video, about the only thing I would probably change on this, well, there's a couple of things, is I wouldn't mind having some jimping up top on the hole here just for a little bit of comfort and less slipperiness. I'm actually debating whether or not I'm going to try to do that myself. But, I just have a Dremel, so I have to figure out how to actually do that precisely and accurately while still trying to do a bit of that freehand, which is why I haven't done it yet, but hey, it's going to happen. And the other thing is this pocket clip. Could use basically a pin further out here or something like that just to have a secondary point lashed into the titanium to help a little bit of that wrenching. But as I did cover in the other one, this micarta is quite a bit stronger than their burlap stuff that they were using in the past. But alrighty, that's everything that we got going on for this guy. I know this is a little bit different, but this knife was a little bit different, and I wanted to cover it just a little bit differently. Wonder how many more times I could probably say a little bit different. I'm not going to find out. All right, I'll just go ahead and leave it at that. So, as always, I appreciate y'all for watching, and have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, yo.